Hey guys, hello and welcome to Meaningless Debate, the show where we go head to head debating issues that are absolutely meaningless. We've got two great comics here today. I'm your host, L.A. Hardy. Let's introduce them and get right into the show. Our first act, you've seen him on Never Mind the Buzzcocks, 30 Years to Life, Comedy Central presents, and David Letterman, The Late Show with David Letterman. Please welcome Eddie Brill.
Yay! Hey,
What's
everybody.
up, E? How you
Hey,
doing, man?
I'm good. I'm hanging out. I'm still alive. I'm in New York. We're all
And
right.
you're in New York and still alive. Good to hear
Yeah,
that news, man.
yeah.
That's
The odds are against me, but here I am.
awesome. A veteran comic of stage and screen, great friend of the show, Eddie Brill. Thanks for coming out and spending some time. Our
My
next
always a
guest,
pleasure, LA.
you've seen him on The Good Wife, Red Eye, Inside Amy Schumer, and he's a runner-up of the seventh season of America's Got Talent. Please welcome Tom Cotter to the
Hey,
show. What's up, Tom?
how you doing?
Doing great, man. Where you at today?
I'm in denial, but I'm in New York City. Well, right outside of New York City. I'm in Rockland County.
Right on. Okay, so you're both doing the kind of New York vibe right there. We
Yeah.
got that going on. Eddie, you're a Jets fan, right?
Yeah, what can you do? But at least I stuck with them. When I
You
was a
did.
little boy in 1969, the Jets won the Super Bowl, the Knicks won the championship, and the Mets won the World Series on my birthday. So I was hooked. The Rangers went to the Stanley Cup, just one round before the final. So I was thinking, well, I'm all set for my life. I got all the great teams, and they've just sucked ever since.
Welcome to my world. I'm a
Yeah.
Cleveland Browns fan. Go Browns. Tom, who's your teams?
I'm a Red Sox, Bruins, Celtics, and Patriots fan because I'm originally from New England. But I will say that Eddie, that's why he loves '69 so much because it all happened for him in '69.
Yeah, that's right. It wasn't my fault. I just said, "Ma'am, you don't understand. It's not up to me. We have to do it this way."
Good a score.
Yes.
Well, thanks for coming out, guys. Really appreciate you spending some time with us. Let's let the audience know how this works. We have audience members sending in topics that our comics debate back and forth. You're going to send it in live, or we have some that we pull out of the barrel and we give them to our comics and let them debate each side of the issue. Send in your topics now. We'd love to get started, and we're going to do it right now. We flipped a coin before the show started. Eddie, you've got the first topic. Let's see what your topic's going to be.
Okay.
Dina from Atlanta, Georgia wants to know, Eddie, what's the ideal thermostat temperature?
Hmm. Well, I have an apartment in New York. There's no thermostat, so But when I'm 90 and I'm in a home, I need the thermostat. I want it a little chilly. I want it about 61 degrees. So I need the extra blankets and pillows.
Right on. So you like that 61, not quite
Well,
65,
maybe
not quite
69.
65.
I should go back to
There
69.
you
That's what we
go.
were
All
talking
right.
about earlier. Everything's 69. I like the way I have sex, the way my baseball team wins, and also that's my thermostat.
Ladies and
Unless it's in
gentlemen,
the turkey, then 69 wouldn't be good.
No.
Yeah.
69 is your answer. Tom, what's your side of the story? What's the best thermostat temperature?
You know what? I'm kind of a sissy. I like it warm. I was in Florida last night. I'm back here and I'm already whining about how cold it is here in the frozen tundra of New York now. So I like maybe I'd go 71 or 72 for my which would have made my father have an aneurysm when I was a kid. He would turn the thermostat down and put a lock on it. But yeah, I like it warm. And it's worse because my wife goes to sleep and she's freezing. Her nose is cold, her hands are cold. But 5 minutes after she's asleep, I call her Chernobyl chick because she's a billion degrees. And now, I got to take the comforter off, take the sheet off, take everything off. So yeah, I'm sorry, I'm whining.
And I disagree with him.
Well, I'm going to go ahead and give that win to
I'm
Tom on this one because
practicing
I
first.
like it about 70 degrees myself. I think 70 is a good temperature for most people. Tom, you're going to get the win on that first question. Eddie, we're going to get you back in, see what we can do. This is Meaningless Debate. What's our next topic, guys? Malcolm from Baltimore, Maryland wants to know, would you rather fight a tiger or a bear? Tom, you're up. Tiger or bear? What do you think?
Wow. Well, since the Bears just made it to the playoffs, I would say them, but the Bengals are a tiger, and they didn't make it to the playoffs. So I'm going to say, plus I'm from the Northeast, and we have Bears, we don't have Tigers. I don't know. I would say
Tiger or bear? Which one you want to fight?
I'm going to go with
You're
a tiger.
debating yourself, Tom.
I am. I can't make up my own mind. I would take a tiger. I would fight a tiger. I would lose, but I'd fight a tiger.
Tom's going to go for it. Why would you fight a tiger?
Because I like the name Claude Balls, and I want to make that my name.
Eddie, why would you fight a bear?
I mean, first of all, I'd rather fight a chicken. You know why? Because you cut a chicken's head off and it just keeps going. So I have a lot of respect for the chicken. So if I'm going to have a fight, it's got to be a fair fight. I want to fight that chicken. But if a bear came over to my house and he was not messing things up and wanted to sit and watch a movie with me, I'd be totally happy. But if he changes the channel all the time, that bear, it's over for that bear. I just want you to know. Yeah. So all of your bear friends, spread the word around. Back off.
Back off that remote. Eddie, I think I'm going to give you the win on that one because let's face it, as a gentleman in any house, you don't want somebody touching that remote if it's on a channel that you want to watch. We're going to give Eddie the win for that one. So we got a 1-1 tie going and a great game. Thanks for playing, guys. Thanks for watching, guys. This is Meaningless Debate. Let's get to our next topic. Sammy from Newark, New Jersey wants to know, Eddie, what is the most annoying song in the world?
We had joy, we had fun,
Seasons in the sun.
Yeah,
that's right up there. That is right up there.
Probably.
That's gonna be your pick, Joy in the Sun.
My pick.
All right, Tom, what's your most annoying song? What do you think?
WAP right now. WAP. Because here's my issue. This Christmas, remember like 2 Christmases ago it started the chatter about "Baby It's Cold Outside," how controversial that song was because it was rapey, because it had innuendo that he was, putting the moves on this girl. Well, then the number 1 song, the one that won the Grammy for the best hip hop song, is "Wet Ass Pussy." I'm sorry, but that's the title of the song. And if you listen to the lyrics, that's our country is in a dumpster fire right now. If that's the number 1 song in the country, and that's the most annoying song to me.
Yeah.
Tough choice. I'm going to have to make it here. The fact that you actually knew what WAP was gets you a few points there, Tom, because you not only went with WAP, you went with Now. You also knew what a thermostat was. So I'm going to give you the win on that for giving WAP and the thermostat. That's 2 different decades.
For God's sake, I sang the damn song.
He did. The song. I didn't sing.
But I'm not sure that you knew what WAP was. I'm not sure that you knew what WAP was. So Tom's going to get the win. We're going to keep it moving and see if we can come to a conclusion, get some great topics from our audience. Send those in now. You can send them in now. You can send them in before the show. You can stump our panel and let us debate these issues.
You can send them after. You won't see them, but you can send them after.
That's absolutely right. What's our next topic, guys? Mason Steiner wants to know, is Eddie Brill the best comedian ever, Tom Cotter?
I'm going to have to say yes on that. I'm going to say affirmative, positive. So, yeah, there's no debate there. That's it.
I have to disagree. That Eddie Brill, he does his material. I have to leave the room, which is hard because I'm Eddie Brill. It's very difficult. It's really hard. I hate my material. I can't stand it. I'm on stage. I'm saying it out loud, and I'm leaving at the same time. I mean, come on, folks.
Ladies and gentlemen, Eddie Brill gets the win on that. His stand and his humbleness has taken home the prize on that question.
Oh, my God.
You got to give it to a guy that can automatically say he hates his material on a comedy show. Yeah. I love
this. He's saying that because his material kills for me on the road. I don't know.
Yeah.
At least you're on the road.
That's a good thing. Speaking of which, what have you guys been doing during the pandemic? Have you been out to get any road work, or have you been doing Zoom shows? What have you been up to,
Eddie?
I did a weekend in California at a fantastic club, and Alameda Comedy Club, and they were supposed to start in April. But of course, they did an outside weekend, and it was really incredible. And it was 149 days in between shows for me. Wow. And I have to tell you, to be able to do stand-up again was such a thrill. I've done the Zoom things, but I'm not, I'd rather do this kind of stuff on Zoom than try to stand up on Zoom.
How good does it feel to be back on stage in front of live people again? Is it amazing?
Was so good. I couldn't sleep. The first night I did 2 shows. I couldn't sleep because I was like, oh my God, this is what I'm supposed to do. This is my thing.
Right. Tom, what have you been up to?
Same. I was in Florida last night in Coconut Creek at a little theater called the Township Performing Arts Center. for elderly people, the tribe of Israel. Fine audience. They were great. And yeah, Florida's in denial. So in the last month, I've been in St. Petersburg, Orlando, Boca, and now Coconut Creek.
You've done the COVID tour.
Yeah, they have no idea that there's a pandemic. So thank God, because I need a place to go to perform. And a ton of Zoom shows because we're non-essential. You know that, right? Everyone's like, oh, we're not essential. LA, I don't know if it's like for you, but here in New York, our mayor and our governor are non-essential. My mother-in-law prefers useless. But either way, it's hurtful, and we're done with that. So we want to get back to work.
That's great. And that's why we bring you on the Meaningless Debate, so that we can at least talk about it and kick it around in front of some people that enjoy comedy. Let's get back into it. Thank you guys for coming out. Thank you guys for watching. What's our next topic? Ginger from Cincinnati, Ohio wants to know, which TV boss would you hate to have? TV boss you'd hate to have? Tom, I believe it's your choice. Which TV boss would you hate to have?
I'm going to go old school. I'm going to show my age. Danny DeVito in Taxi was like a tough guy to work for. So I would argue probably that would be my choice.
Okay, Danny DeVito. What do you think, Ed?
Well, Ginger gave me the answer, and I'd rather have Mary Ann. You know, I'd rather have Mary Ann give me the question. No, actually, who would I? The Grinch. I would hate to be, if the Grinch was my boss. That's my ride.
As soon as you brought him up.
Come on, people. No, you funded them.
We did, and that's why they're making the sound.
Right.
But you remember the dog that had to be the Grinch's, like?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
That would suck.
Yeah, good point there. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I think we're going to give the win to Ed strictly because he brought up the dog, and that dog took a beating from the Grinch as his boss. Let's be honest about that. Danny was good, but a Grinch for a boss, I'm going to have to give you the win on that one, Ed. Let's get to our next topic. Rob Will says, is Johnny Bench the best catcher ever? Eddie, what do you think? Best catcher ever? So.
I don't think there's, because of the fact that he can hold 5 hamburgers in one hand.
Right.
That just makes him the best. He does that commercial where the guy goes up to him and goes, hey, are you Johnny Bench? Can you still hold 5 hamburgers? It's like so weird that that's the thing that they use in the film. No, but I can hold 5 of the product that I'm doing. Poor Johnny had to sell his all his old memorabilia and now doing these commercials. Now, I thought Johnny Bench was great because he was a great defensive guy, and
best catcher ever.
Name like Manny Sanguian, but he was Johnny Bench, and I think he's the best ever.
Tom, what do you think? Who's the best ever?
Jane, you ignorant slut. I have to say, and I'm a Red Sox fan, so it hurts me to say this, but Yogi Berra, because I just love him ex post facto baseball. He was a decent baseball player, but I mean, he was such an icon after that, and I just loved his use of the English language and the fun he had with it, and it was so.
It ain't over till it's over.
If I could say something here, my father was a great catcher in high school. He caught Sandy Koufax. His nickname was Yogi, and he was a great ball player, and he got signed by the Philadelphia Athletics. And so my father was, later in his life, he never ended up playing. That's another show. But he ended up in the bad part of his life. He was dying. And I got on an airplane, and sitting next to me was Yogi Berra.
Wow.
And I told Yogi the story, and Yogi called my father.
Wow.
Yeah, it was pretty incredible.
That's pretty cool.
How great is that? Cool. You got to give Eddie the win on that one.
I got to give him the win just for the story.
I'm just trying to find ways to win. That's not a true story at all. I'm trying to get sentimental.
Hey, a win to win, man.
That's why you're on the show. Meaningless Debate.
My father's name was Tony.
I'll tell you what I got out of that. I got out of that Eddie flies first class because there's no way Yogi Berra was in coach.
Right, he wasn't in coach.
We're going to give you the win anyway.
From all the miles I got from working on those.
I'll tell you why I got to give you the win for a Johnny Bench, because Johnny Bench had the most hugest calves of any baseball player I've ever seen. His calves were massive, and then those little shorty uniforms they used to wear. All of the Reds were muscular players. He had a lot of
goats. He had some calves, but he had some goats and chickens, and
absolutely, it was absolutely. Eddie Brill takes home the win for Johnny Bench. Let's keep going.
This game.
Got started a little late, but we're going to keep it moving, and let's see if we can get some more topics in here. What do you guys got? Duncan from Queens, New York wants to know, should we go back to the old days where men wore hats and suits? Eddie, you're up. What do you think?
I kind of think it's cool. I love, speaking of baseball, when you show the old, like, Mickey Mantle, you go to the game and there was Mickey Mantle and Ted Williams, and everyone in the stands had, suits and hats. And, I remember, I worked at Letterman, and in our audiences, everyone's in shorts and T-shirts. And Letterman said, what happened to the days when the audiences would come in dressed up for the shows? I kind of like that sort of, homage to respect of the hat and suit. And hats are cool. You know what I'm saying?
He knew it was coming, ladies and gentlemen. Tom, what do you think? Hats and suits?
I'm not a fan. I live in Rockland County, and we have a lot of the ultra Orthodox here, and they all walk around in black suits and black hats all the time. And I just, although I will say, remember when we were young, we'd get on an airplane, people got dressed up to go on airplanes. Of course, you could smoke on the plane back then, too. So I'm glad some things have changed. But maybe we're a little more casual. I don't know. I think if men wore more suits and hats, then women would have to wear more dresses. And frankly, I like the short skirts and the mini pants. And so I'm going to stick with no more suits and hats.
I'm going to go with Tom on this one because I like it a lot more casual. And it really doesn't matter what we wear anyway. The women are going to wear whatever they want.
Damn right.
Whap. We got two great guests, Tom Cotter. We got Eddie Brill. This is Meaningless Debate. We're going to keep the show rolling. I'm L.A. Hardy, your host. We love the fact that you guys keep commenting on our show, watching our show. Keep doing that. We're every Monday, 8 p.m. EST, Facebook Live, and you can see older episodes on YouTube Live. Let's get back into it and see if we can crown a winner. What's our next question? Inez from Charleston, South Carolina wants to know, Tom, what movie franchise would you like to see turned into a series?
I think they do too much of that. I really do. I know The Mandalorian's real big on Disney Plus, but that's just derivative of the movies. But if I had to pick one, I would say Animal House. They could make that into a fraternity sitcom, and I would laugh very hard at that every week when they did it.
Who would you pick to star in it?
Oh, no.
To star in it? Well, Belushi is no longer with us, so
Right.
We'd need another fat slob. I'm available. I can put on. I don't know. I mean, you can pick a lot of. Let's say, I'm trying to think. Louis Anderson isn't frat boy enough, and I don't want to hurt anyone's feelings. But Artie Lang would be great in it. Maybe
Could be.
Belushi character.
Tom would like to see an Animal House series. Eddie, what would you like to see?
Well, speaking of Animal House, Babe. I'd like to see Babe be a series. Like, it's all pig movies.
With the pig, yeah.
And no offense, but I could play that part. During this COVID, I've been eating so much. I started out at the height of fashion, and now I'm at the width.
That's a great answer, but we're going to give Tom the win on that one because Animal House is a classic, and who wouldn't want to see more of that on a weekly basis one way or another? We got time for a few more questions. See if we can crown a winner. What's our next topic, guys? Isabel from Oakland, California wants to know, does size matter when it comes to TVs?
Who's first?
I'm sorry, Eddie, you're up. My bad.
Okay. Well, it matters. It's all relative. Because if your apartment is small like mine, if the TV is like 80 inches, then it's gonna, you're gonna go blind, and you're gonna just have to listen to radio for the rest of your life.
Right.
No, I like big. I like them big. I like them wide. I like them big. And my televisions. Let me tell you what I think about my televisions. I've had the big Sony right here, and you know why? Because I love movies. And I love having like a movie theater in my apartment. So the bigger the screen,
matters.
It's not obscene.
How big is yours?
This is a family show. It's I think it's 56.
Nicely done, my friend. Nicely done. Tom, does size really matter with TVs?
As a short man, I will say no. Size never matters. But when I was growing up, we had the picture tube thing, and it was across the room, and it wasn't a great. Now my kids, I have 3 teenage boys, and they're always on their phones, and they watch TV shows on their phones, and they make the point where if you put it this close to your face, then it's like watching a big screen. So I don't see why you need the gigantic, enormous screen when you can just move yourself closer to the screen and see it. So that's my argument. And go ahead and give the points to Eddie on that one.
Actually, I'm going to give the points to you, big fella.
I think the points go to Tom.
Tom's getting the points on this one because size does not matter. People watch it on their phones. And if you remember, it wasn't that long ago, we were watching picture in picture.
Yeah.
So you watch TV and then watch a little TV in the corner. And yeah, Tom's going to get the win.
I had a Watchman. And in 1994, I was working at Oliver Keithley's Comedy Club in Maine.
Wow.
And so the Knicks are playing the Houston Rockets in the finals of the NBA Finals. And that was the night O.J. Simpson was going around in the Bronco.
Right, Bronco, yeah.
Right. So Brian Kiley and all these other comics are watching the Bronco on the big TV, and I'm watching the Knicks play their championship on a screen like this. I'm going, there's something wrong with this. I should be watching the NBA on the big screen, but OJ won out.
We all had to watch that, didn't we?
Yeah.
You had to watch that. Tom, you got the win on that one. We're moving closer to the end. Let's see if we can crown a champion.
I disagree. Oh, sorry.
What's our next topic, guys? Jasmina from Detroit, Michigan wants to know, is it okay to wear a black belt with brown shoes, Tom?
If it's a karate black belt. If you're a karate man and you have a black belt, then yes, you can wear it with slippers, you can wear it with sneakers, you can wear it with whatever you want. But if you're not a black belt and you're wearing a black belt, then you're a fraud, and I got to throw the flag on that.
Yeah,
nice,
and my flag would be black. I would throw a black flag, and then I'd kill all the roaches with my black flag, and then I would try to find another word that would have to do with black flag to make it go. There's a band called Black Flag.
There is.
So I think it's a, that was my first thought. High karate. If you're wearing high karate, you can wear a brown belt. Other than that, a brute. If you wear brute, you can wear a brown belt. But other than that, no. I don't know what I'm saying.
I totally agree. I didn't see that one coming with the karate. Great answer.
There's no reason
Tom, we're going to give you the win. Let me check with my producer and find out what they got. Yeah? The second time only in comedian history on Meaningless Debate, you guys have actually tied. We don't have a winner tonight. We've got an equal amount of wins from our contestants, and we have a tie. It's called a draw. Kiss your sister. This is Meaningless Debate. I want to thank our guests for coming out tonight. Eddie, what do you got going on? Where can we see you? Where can we find you?
Well, not in the comedy club yet, but we're working on that. But I got a job writing on a movie, so that's really cool.
Nicely
So
done.
I can stay at home and write, which is really good. And also another job. I got a couple of jobs on the other side of the camera, which is really great. And all, I'm doing a ton of these kind of things where I'm online as much as I can be. But it's mostly behind the camera stuff. We're writing and producing, executive producing, and it's kind of fun to do that. I enjoy that part of it.
Excellent. They can find you at eddiebrill.com.
They can.
Tom, what do you got going on? Where can we find you? What are we looking for?
I'm a whore, so I'm touring wherever they'll have me. So Florida, thank God for being in denial. But yeah, I'm and you can find me at Tom Cotter Comic. That's Twitter, that's Instagram, that's all those. I haven't been banned yet, and yeah, I'm performing. I've been doing some writing too, mostly suicide notes because I can't stand the pandemic. But I am writing, and that's it. Find me on Facebook and the other social media places.
Yeah,
Awesome.
can I just say something?
Sure.
Eddie Comic is the thing. EddieBrill.com right now is under construction. I have a brand new person working a new thing. You won't find me there. So Eddie Comic on Instagram and Eddie_Brill at Twitter.
Take note of that. These are two very funny guys. Going to have a lot more going on in 2021. Thank you guys for checking us out. This is Meaningless Debate. I'm L.A. Hardy, and remember, don't argue and unfriend your friends on social media. Let us do the arguing for you. For Tom Cotter, Eddie Brill, it's been a blast. Stay tuned for Comedy Doctors after this, and we'll see you next week on Monday.